Hello guys, I'm Fisi and welcome to the 7th episode out of 10 in this little career Mercedes to finish off F1 2012 before we move on to F1 2013 very soon. And we are at the night race, the Singapore Grand Prix, and as you can see I managed to get myself into Q2, which is an improvement from the last couple of races, but my usual qualifying woes would come back to haunt me yet again, and bang! My reactions were way too slow as I approached that Ferrari, which I did not expect to be completely stationary, but it was, and as a result Fernando Alonso has managed to complete his plan of taking me out of qualifying, because as you can see Alonso still managed to get his car back up and running as he qualified P3 in the end. And I believe it was Kimi Räikkönen who took pole position with Sebastian Vettel starting in 5th place, so once again my rivals are quite way ahead on the grid, so it's going to be a big task for me to gain points on them in this race. But here we go now, approaching the first corner, cars everywhere, so I'm going to have to take it easy, especially with the walls. Very close indeed, I haven't taken it easy whatsoever. I was just going completely into the rear of Roman Grosjean, but luckily no front wing damage or damage to the other cars as well, so it's still an acceptable start as I managed to gain 2 positions there I believe, and now I'm trying to go around the outside of the Toro Rosso. Mark Webber's gone a bit wide ahead and Grosjean's gone into his rear, and I managed to get past 3 cars on the inside there up to P9. Mark Webber's made a complete hassle of that corner, and now we're approaching Nico Hülkenberg's had to slow down at we're just behind Perez as well. Can I go around Perez? No. Ow, and Hülkenberg's pushed me onto the curb and very wide indeed. So I'm going to have to get some revenge and go up his inside as we go through this slow area corner, and Hülkenberg's gone straight into the wall and lost his front wing. Lots of action in the first couple of corners there. And now Hülkenberg, I believe, is just holding up the rest of the field. So it's a massive gap that's been created back to Webber and the other cars behind me. But I don't mind, we're into the points positions already, up to P8 as we now approach the end of lap 1. And we close the gap to Perez then, so we're going to have to try to navigate him as quickly as possible. He's gone very defensive earlier there. Can I go around outside of him into turn 1? No, he's blocked me off. Good defensive drive by Perez, although he was very over-eager to defend. And Fernando Alonso actually ahead, because that's a man who destroyed my qualifying, and he's not having a great race. He's starting P3 I believe. Now going around the outside of Perez, so let's see if I can challenge Alonso on the straight. No DRS yet, but still closing massively because I'm using all my curves. Going to the left side, I wasn't too sure which way I was going to go there, but I managed to get past Alonso nevertheless. And now I almost lost the car there as we went out that corner, and now the next person to navigate is my teammate Adrian Vettel. Hopefully he won't be holding me up too much once I get to his rear end, as I've just done there. But obviously no overtaking spots really in this third sector of the lap, so I'm probably gonna have to sit behind my teammate now until at least the first corner. Maybe that's my first opportunity to have a go at him, or I could try a bit of team orders. Adrian, Fisi is faster than you, please confirm. Oh my god, it just looks like he's almost let me pass there. He has heard my message over the team radio. I've gone past him before the first corner. He just went very slowly out the final corner, and the team orders have worked nicely, guys. So I'm up to P5. Oh, very close to hitting the wall there and taking an end plate off. But and we've got to say, Alonso is down to P7. He's not having a great second half of this season. He's dropped lots of points. He had a massive lead in the championship for the first half of the season, but now Vettel after the last race is the leader. But Adrian Steele, I would have been mad if he had gone back past me there, but he wasn't close enough with the RS, so I managed to be defensive and keep him from getting past. But now it's quite a massive gap up to Sebastian Vettel, who is in P4, the championship leader then. It's going to be crucial for me to manage to pass him, but to gain some points in the championship. But we now skip 2 laps later. Oh, I have to take M plate off my wing there. That's not good. That's going to cost me in the pit stop. And I think, if I remember correctly, on that split time I just saw, we're now 2.8 seconds behind Vettel. So we managed to close the gap from 6.4 to 2.8. And is that someone going in the pit lane then? Is that Sebastian Vettel? Yep, it is. And it's several other cars as well. Raikkonen and Rosberg also in the pits. It looks like Lewis Hamilton is the only other car who stayed out with me for another lap. So I'm up to P2 for the moment, but on the next lap then I'm going into the pit lane myself, and Lewis Hamilton's gone very slowly already, so I'm right on Lewis Hamilton's gearbox as we go into the pit box now. I need a good stop from the Force India pit crew, maybe to even jump the Mercedes crew, but Actually, I just remember they're gonna have to change my front wing, don't they? So there goes Hamilton. No chance for me to jump in. 5.6 seconds. Not too bad considering I had to change the wing. But it's gonna be interesting to see where I am in relation to Sebastian Vettel, who I was 2.8 seconds behind before. All the stops. He's not gone past me yet. That was Raikkonen and Rosberg going through. I'm gonna have to stay within the lines, and there is Vettel. So, and obviously I will have very cold tires and minimal grip now for at least half a lap. But am I gonna get the DRS here, I wonder? Am I within the 1 second of Vettel? No, I'm not. So catching him is gonna have to be all through my own pure skill and pace to get close to him. And 3 laps later it shows that Hamilton and Vettel ahead are driving very well, because it's taken me 3 laps to finally close the gap. It was 1.3 seconds at that split time, but now Hamilton is holding Vettel up massively, it looks like, and I'm right back on them now. Try to save a little bit of fuel, got +1 laps at the moment, so let's see if I can manage to challenge these two. Singapore obviously is a very difficult track to overtake. There's not many good chances because the straights are pretty short between each of the very many corners on this track. And you know, skip the end of lap 10. Vettel has had a little bit of a wobble on the curve there, but still a decent exit for him. 3 tenths behind now, so it should be a DRS fest as we're coming up to the DRS straight very soon. Vettel and me are gonna both have a run at Hamilton most likely. Oh, the sparks flying off the back of Vettel as he goes over that curve very hard indeed. Now approaching what I believe is turn 4, is it crucial to get a good exit out of this corner. Got a bit too hard on the curb, he's compromised my exit slightly. Vettel's DRS is open, so is mine. Vettel's gonna have a go at Hamilton there. Hamilton's gone defensive, Vettel's gone straight past him. And oh my goodness! I've just made a last minute decision to go to the left of Hamilton a little bit too late there. And I've taken my end plate off my wing there, to a bit too aggressive from me really. And Hamilton seems to have lost out a bit as he went wide after that. Probably got surprised by the little push that I gave him. But now the walls must have surprised him, because I just saw back there Lewis Hamilton's crashed it into the wall at the end of that triple apex chicane. The Singapore sling, which obviously in real life this season they've taken out. So we're gonna have a fast flowing left hand corner there on the next game instead. But that is not good for Hamilton. Surely he's out of the race now. So no points for him, but he's quite far back in the championship anyway. Now we got DRS on Vettel at the penultimate lap now. So he's lap 14 out of 15. And we close right up to Vettel with DRS. But it's not easy for me, because obviously this Red Bull that Vettel drives is pretty he's pretty good around this track. Obviously in real life, you saw how dominant he was. And he has the downforce to pull away from me in the slow corners. I'm not really able to have a go anywhere else on the track apart from the DRS. And now we're going into the final lap. This is going to be my final opportunity to get past Vettel in the DRS straight that we're coming up to now. Ooh, was I going to go very close to that wall again. But you got to notice I'm in lead mix at the moment. Going back to standard now. But my fuel is running very low and optimal, and I was on -1 just a second ago. As I now have DRS on Vettel. This is my final chance. Up to rich mix for 1 straight only to try to get past. But no, back to -1 fuel. But here we go up the inside of Vettel. Can we hit the apex? Ooh, got a bit wide onto the curb, but so has Sebastian Vettel. And we managed to make his stick up to P3 to take the final podium position. Now we're gonna have to. Oh, and the end plate goes off. Now we're gonna have to fuel save until the end of the race. As Button says, the fastest lap. But don't really need to care too much about that. Vettel is right back on us, and fuel is still me at -1. So we have to go keep it in lead for now. And now it's all about keeping the car on the track, out of the barriers. It's very easy to make a mistake around there. So I'm always done there again. And but I haven't done it. Vettel is still right back on us as we come towards the final corner now. Raikkonen wins, but I managed to hold Vettel up for the final lap to take the 3rd podium position in this race. And my guy seems very pleased indeed, and I am pretty pleased as well, having started from 15th, and I've crucially taken 3 points out of Vettel's championship lead. Although Raikkonen, another championship rival who looked to be out of it after the previous race, is going to have clawed quite a few points back now, so maybe he's back in it. But Fernando Alonso, on the other hand, has had yet another bad result for him, down in 9th place. He must have been held up by Adrian Sutil, my teammate, pretty much for the whole race there. And he's dropped down to P4 for the first time this championship, but is still reasonably close between the top 4. All of us separated by 19 points. I'm 7 points then behind Vettel after being 10 points after the previous round. So with 6 races to go, it's still a 4-horse race. Not to use Ryan's 4-way horse phrase for once. And in the constructors, Force India still battling with Mercedes. I think Force India was 10 points ahead there for 4th place. But now, as we leave Singapore, we move on to the Korean Grand Prix, further east, far east in Asia, and a track that has some very mixed reviews. Not everyone finding this track enjoyable, but qualifying woes continue then. Raikkonen there sitting on the apex, and Rosberg pretty slow, so I'm gonna go up the inside there. They gave him a little bit of a push maybe to... Oh. It's a penalty. Got a penalty in Q1. Right. So yeah, I wasn't too happy about that, as you probably saw, and it's gonna be another long afternoon from the back of the grid once again this season. I just can't seem to sort it out in qualifying, can I? But as a consolation, my rivals haven't had too good of a qualifying. Vettel starting in 6th, I think, Raikkonen in 5th, Alonso all the way down in 11th, as we now start this Korean Grand Prix from the back with both Caterhams ahead. And I'm gonna have a look up the inside, and even up the inside of Maldonado now. We're both going for the same piece of track, and Maldonado's gone spinning, which has completely slowed me down, and it's been a dreadful start at the Korean Grand Prix. Maldonado is pretty much out of it, but the whole field is streaming clear ahead, so I'm gonna use all my curse now to try and make up this gap straight away. Already catching up to Van der Gaard. Might even have a go up the inside at the rate we're closing him. Trying to spot the 150-meter braking board, as we've done pretty nicely up the inside of Van der Gaard. He can't turn into me, but got away with it. Some Marushas and Caterhams pretty slow at the exit of the corner. Let's see if we can get Bianchi now into this next tricky section of the track. Lots of cars braking early, as they're pretty much all bunched up ahead. Gutierrez now almost losing the car completely, and we managed to get around him as well. Not managed to squeeze past. Then Ricardo there, we lost the back end. No! Esteban Gutierrez going to get back passes, and Bianchi's even have a look now, but he's backed off. So P17. It's not been a great start. I've usually been up to around the lower end of the points positions by this point, but only down to P16 now. So I got back past Gutierrez, but this Force India seems to have no grip. I'm struggling quite a bit to keep this Force India planted and going quick in this first stages of the race. Now at the start of lap 2, and we're right behind Ricardo, as he's had a bad exit now out of this corner, and I'm going to use curse to go around the outside of turn 2 and ahead, going to this straight leading up to turn 3, and even Esteban Gutierrez also gone past Ricardo. So Ricardo, who's looking at his Red Bull seat for next season in real life, which is pretty cool to see. I'd love to see him give Vettel a run for the money in the Red Bull team, but for now he's not doing a great job in this race. So now skipping to the end of lap 2, and I managed to close the gap to Valtteri Bottas and Jean-Eric Vergne, who are the cars ahead, and I've got no time to lose there. The longer I'm stuck behind these sort of cars, the quicker the front runners will be pulling away. I'm now going up the inside of Valtteri Bottas. Pretty straightforward move, as I had the pace on the straight, and ran a little bit wide out of that corner. But using curse now, I'm going to have a go at Jean-Eric Vergne as well, and this is DRS enabled for this lap, so I'm even going to use DRS to pull further away. No problem with that pass either. But now there's quite a gap up to the massive train ahead, which is tailed by Adrian Sutil, my teammate. So let's see if there's going to be more team orders like it was in the previous race. But what is this? Fernando Alonso, he's pulled off the track. Absolutely shocking scenes here in Korea. The man who was the championship favourite for the first half of the season, now on a bad run of form, having dropped down to 4th. And this disastrous run continues here in Korea with what seems to be a retirement for him. And no, I'm going up the inside of Adrian Sutil, my teammate. Oh, brake too late. That's not going to work. Over-optimistic move there from me, and run wide. I lost time by doing that. It's not usually something I tend to do. Taking over-optimistic dive bombs like that, and you can see why, because I've just lost quite a bit of time then. As it is still now going into the pit lane at the end of lap 4. That's pretty early. I was pretty surprised at quite a few people going in the pits on that lap. I would have thought that my tires had at least a couple of more laps in them, but I did react to it. Don't know if it was the best idea, but there seems to be lots of cars going in at the same time at the start of lap 6 now, as the pit crew has done a pretty good stop to get me back out at the rear of Sergio Perez. And P8, let's see, here comes Button, and we're down to P9 then. Ooh, another car just managed to squeeze past Grosjean at the pit exit. And P9, so we managed to jump Grosjean, I think he was ahead of us before we went into the pits. And now, let's see, this Jensen Button managed to get past Perez as well at the pit exit. So I'm gonna have a Perez maybe, have a go. Up the inside, no, I'm a bit too cautious there, not really with a dive bomb like I did in Sedilla. No, lost the back end, cold tires, it's kicking in, and lack of grip as well. Now at the end of lap 7 on the next lap, and there's a bit of battling going on up there with Button and a Mercedes, and now Perez has had a bad exit. Let's see then, yeah, pretty straightforward move, just outpowered him on the exit corner, and the purple sector as well. So I seem to be going at a reasonable pace at the moment, but the leaders are still quite a while ahead, and it's going to be a few cars to navigate as well, and the first two are had to navigate now, Hamilton and Button. Let's see, surely we got DRS now on Hamilton, and Hamilton's going to have DRS on Button as well, so he's pulled past Button, and Button is going slow like a fucking turtle. What is he doing? That's incredible. He must have lost 7th gear or something. Can't believe the McLaren being that slow in a straight line, even without DRS. So Jensen Turtle back there losing out quite a bit, and already quite a big gap down to him, so hopefully I don't need to worry about him anymore in this race. But I have to worry about Lewis Hamilton now, because there seems to be quite a bit of a gap forming to the bunch of cars ahead, back to Hamilton, and he's holding us up at the moment. There's 2 Red Bulls ahead there, so I can only hope that Webber is ahead of Vettel and kind of taking some points off him, because I need to gain points of Vettel. That's the main championship rival at the moment, as he's leading the championship, as you know, and very close to Hamilton there, going through this pretty nice sector to be honest. I like driving around, and can we have a go up there? Oh, almost swiping across his diffuser. I think I was a bit indecisive there as to whether I should go for the move, and I just backed out of it at the last moment. And here we go again, Hamilton just holding us up now, and it's not good. Look at this, we just, oh, get out of the way, Lewis, and there we go, we did get out of the way. Kind of a little bit of a tap maybe, but managed to get through, and that's the most important thing, up to P6. So let's see what the gap is now to Sebastian Vettel ahead. It is 3.5 seconds, so that's gonna be a tough task to close that in the last, is that 6 laps we got left this race, and this Force India might not be quick enough to be able to close that lap. That gap, and with Vettel being the guy ahead of me as well, that means that Mark Webber is indeed ahead of him, and he'll surely not be wanting to let his teammate past anytime soon, given what happened with the Multi-21 incident in Malaysia in real life. But as I'm just going on, Lewis Hamilton now having a look around the outside. Come on, Lewis, leave me alone. I have a championship battle to win here. Or would you also like to see me prevent Vettel from getting a 4th title? I'm sure you would, Lewis, if you gave a thought to it. Yep, that's what I thought. I think he's just broken very early. Let me have the position. So it's an easy defensive job for me there. I'm still remaining in P6, but through that battling with Lewis, Vettel's managed to pull out a further 3 tenths. And no! What is this? It's Kimi Räikkönen! Oh my goodness, almost hit him as he came back onto the track. Kimi Räikkönen's gone wide. All the championship rivals, apart from Vettel, this race is just falling apart. Alonso retiring early on, and now Räikkönen's made a massive mistake and lost out, and he's dropped behind Hamilton as well. Although he's now, as we skip to the end, the start of lap 14, the final lap, he's managed to get back past Hamilton, and now he's right on my gearbox, so it's going to be a battle between me and Kimi Räikkönen for 5th place in this race. And it is a crucial battle, because he's only 7 points behind me in the championship, and I'm not really defending too well. I've left him a gap. That's a mistake by me, to be honest, as the fuel's now gone down to -1 as well, so I'm running out of fuel. It's not looking great for me at the moment, as I'm now going to have to try to get back past Kimi Räikkönen while saving fuel at the same time. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that, but let's see if we can have a chance of a run. We're in the slipstream, and it's left the gap on the inside. Are we going to go for it? We're going to go for it. We're going to hit the apex with side by side, go through this corner. I can't breathe. And again I can squeeze around the outside. I had a lock up there as well. So let's see. Oh, he's holding it well. Kimi Räikkönen driving very well to stay ahead of me. Oh, that might have been the only chance I had, and I was in rich as well. And -1, why was I in rich? I can't. I'm going to have to turn it down to lean surely at some point on this lap to not run out, and I'm going to have to do it soon as well, so I don't know why I'm not doing it yet. But can we have a final look at Räikkönen? Not really any overtaking places before we reach the line now. So I think Kimi Räikkönen is now the massive favourite to take 5th place and take a few points out of me in the championship, and he's pulling away as we go around. Force India is understeering massively. I just can't keep up with him at the moment, And now we run out of fuel. Oh no, you can hear the engine just stopped. It's starting to stutter massively. And Hamilton's right on us. Felipe Massa has taken a surprise victory in Korea, but Lewis, stay behind, mate. You shall not pass. Oh my god, a run to the line has never been this long. Oh, Lewis has found a gap. No. Oh, there comes a Grosjean as well. Oh my god, I dropped down to P8 just before the line. And even so, my guy seems happy despite losing 3 positions on the final lap. But oh my god, that was intense, wasn't it? Whew. So in the end, that was a pretty disappointing result because it's the first time I missed out on the podium since Silverstone, if I remember correctly. And luckily, Webber managed to hold Vettel off, so he finishes 4th with Kimi in 5th. And Alonso, obviously, with that DNF, is not scoring any points. So for the championship, that now means that Vettel has a 15-point lead. Raikkonen only 1 point behind me, so he took 6 points out of me there. And Alonso is now the man who looks a bit dropping out of the title race. 31 points behind Vettel, 16 points behind me. So Alonso has a job to do if he wants to get back in it. And that second place from Nico Rosberg means that Mercedes now gone past Force India in the Constructors' Championship as well. So we got some work to do, guys, ahead of the final 5 races, which I hope you will join me for. Surely one of those things is trying to get a clean qualifying for once. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Feel free to press the like button if you want to make me cry of joy. But until next time, guys, I'll see you later.